Topping today's news, the deal is done. The sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort on Grand Bahama complete. Repairs to the North Eleuthera Airport is underway as the Member of Parliament for the area reveals his aspirations to become the Prime Minister, and another major drug bust on the island of Acklins, while the COI tables a bill for fire and rescue services in the House of Assembly. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. 7 years in the making, the Grand Lucayan Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama officially has a new owner, the Concord Wheelchair Company out of the United States of America. The historic and long-awaited signing of a heads of agreement took place today in a packed ballroom at the resort. Prime Minister Philip Davis, who was praised for the work that he has done behind the scenes to make this deal happen, shared some of the details of the heads of agreement.
The Grand Lucayan redevelopment is very ambitious. At the heart of this redevelopment is an integrated resort village that will create jobs, restore confidence, and give Grand Bahama the momentum it deserves. That means 3 new hotel buildings, a full-scale cruise resort, a revitalized 25,000 square foot casino, a Greg Norman designed golf course, over-water cabanas, beach clubs, family attractions, water parks, retail spaces, restaurants, music venues, and a 16-slip mega yacht marina. This is no small undertaking. This is an investment of $827 million and perhaps much more. The kind of scale that has the power to shift the local economy, create opportunity at every level, and change lives for the better. More than 1,300 jobs will be created during the construction, and about 1,750 permanent jobs when the development is fully up and running.
President of the Concord Wheelchair, Nate Serang, thanked Prime Minister Davis and his team for the work they did to get the deal done and for trusting his company. Mr. Serang shared a bit about Concord Wheelchair and its philosophy.
For those of you who are not familiar with Concord Wheelchair, we're a national U.S.-based real estate development company that's been around for over 30 years and held a successful track record through multiple investment cycles. We currently have offices in Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, and Phoenix, and we focus on residential, hotel, and mixed-use developments, along with large master plan communities throughout the U.S. Our company, unlike a lot of our competitors, is deep-rooted in values that go far beyond our balance sheet. At the core of all of our projects is one simple principle: the community comes first.
U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kimberly Furnish also played a role in helping the deal to come to fruition and pledged the United States continued support as they seek to increase American investments in the Bahamas. We'll have much more from that heads of agreement signing as our Ariana Neely is covering that story. Although plans are actively progressing on the construction of the new multi-million-dollar airport terminal and airside development at the North Eleuthera International Airport, some urgent upgrades are needed and just can't wait. The Department of Aviation and the Airport Authority, in a press release, said those repairs include the existing roof, expansion and improvements to the existing check-in and ticketing areas, passenger arrivals, customs and immigration areas, new bathroom facilities, full air conditioning, painting, and mold remediation. The works currently being undertaken is expected to be completed by May 31st. The airport is expected to remain open during these renovations. In addition to repairs to the airport also coming out of North Eleuthera, the current Member of Parliament, Sylvanus Petty, who is also the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, sets a lofty goal of becoming the Prime Minister as leader of the PLP someday. He shared his plans with the media outside of Parliament on Wednesday.
Break in the first place if you don't come back?
Well, it's some things that I have to strategize. It's a strategy that I'm trying to deal with right now. So to get me in place to be the next Prime Minister.
Progressive Party?
Yes.
You hesitated.
You hesitated, sir.
You hesitated on
that. I was shocked by your question, that's why.
I have to ask these things.
No, PLP.
So,
yes.
And what do you think you bring to the table?
Well, we have to move and progress. I think there's a lot of things that we have to do. And I mean, I will reveal everything in the next 5 years, trust me, but it's going to be something that the Bahamas, the whole Bahamas, can be proud of. I guarantee you that.
So you'll be vying for party leadership soon?
Soon.
While he has leadership aspirations, Mr. Petty announced that he will not be seeking re-election in the 2026 general elections. He was asked to shed some light on who will replace him as the PLP candidate for North Eleuthera.
But we have 4 persons on the ground right now. 4 persons we have on the ground right now. We have a branch meeting next week Thursday, so we're going to meet with all the aspiring candidates for North Eleuthera, and then the branch will make a decision, and then we write to the Prime Minister to see who is best seated to take over for my position.
Can we get those names?
Not at this time.
Petty is confident the PLP, under the leadership of Philip Davis, will win the 2026 general elections. Just before noon today, police informed members of the media of a major drug bust on the island of Acklins. 5 men are in police custody. The suspected drugs and suspects were flown into New Providence today, landing at Odyssey Airport. Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Roberto Goodman was asked if there were any concerns about large numbers of drugs traveling through our family islands.
There's always a concern when we see drugs being flowed into our Bahama lands, particularly the southern islands. As you could recall, even in the northern, the Bahamas this year, we had a total of over 400 kilos that were discovered in the container port operation that was done by the Drug Enforcement Unit in Grand Bahama. And then if you recall, if the beater could recall, even last year, the beginning, if you look at December, there was also a major seizure where an aircraft crashed in the same island in Acklins. Long Key is off Acklins area and in the same vicinity in our southern island. So it also creates a major concern. But I was glad with us working here today and all with our U.S. counterparts that we were able to seize this amount of drugs and allow it not to even get into our streets. So at the end of the day, that they could destroy our wonderful young kids out there in our Bahamas. And so for those drug traffickers who continue those drug trafficking organizations, who continue to try to traffic drugs in our Bahama land, I want you to know that Drug Enforcement Unit is out there and the police is out there. We work jointly with the U.S. counterparts, and we have our own law enforcement here, the Royal Bahamas Police Force and also the Defense Force, who will also be able to protect our borders from illegal narcotics entering.
This is not the first time a major drug bust has happened on the island of Acklins. In December of 2024, 7 men, including 5 Bahamians and 2 Colombians, were charged in a $15 million cocaine bust on Acklins. Also in December last year, 9 men were charged in connection to the seizure of $15.8 million worth of cocaine and marijuana that was found in a crashed blue and white airplane also on the island of Acklins. This latest group of men are expected to be hauled before the courts and formally charged in the coming days. And finally, in this segment, just days after the official opposition Free National Movement called for a comprehensive national fire strategy, and its deputy leader revealed plans for a $10 million fire reform plan, the Coalition of Independents made a mark in the House of Assembly this week as its Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Aram Lewis, tabled a landmark bill to establish a fully independent and empowered Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service.
It is with immense pleasure that I stand to lay for the first time the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service Bill 2025. A bill for an act to establish the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service to provide for the separation of fire services from the Royal Bahamas Police Force and for connected matters.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Is there a seconder?
Second the bill, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Order that the bill be brought up. It has been moved and seconded that the following bill be read for the first time. A bill for an act to establish the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Service to provide for the separation of fire services from the Royal Bahamas Police Force and for connected purposes. As many are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is carried. Ordered that the bill be read for a first time and tabled.
The bill was seconded by the PLP member for Southern Shores, Leroy Major, who was seated next to Lewis. It was unanimously supported by all members of Parliament from both the government and the opposition. COI leader Lincoln Bain said in a statement that the COI has taken bold and decisive action to protect Bahamians right now and not waiting for power to do what is right. You're watching JCN TV 14. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.